Indian ambassador to Uzbekistan, who has joined us from Tashkent today. And we thank you all for your presence today. So in terms of, we all welcome you, and we are, looking forward for your intervention, what exactly we expect in terms of the new opportunities which are emerging, and in the backdrop of growing interest of Indian industry to invest and cultivate new business opportunities in Central Asian region, especially Uzbekistan, which continues to remain the gateway not just to Central Asia but CIS region per se, due to its proximity to major markets and favorable investment environment. We would really like to understand where and how Indian companies and Indian business can reach out, do business and invest in various sectors, and how we can invite our Uzbeki partners and businesses for deepening their business connects with the Indian companies today during the course of today's forum discussions. So as we are absolutely aware that Uzbekistan, which is rich in energy resources, agriculture and food processing, textiles and tourism are some of the key sectors which we can highlight, but there are many more sectors which are emerging, which we really want to understand, assess, and hopefully, if all goes well, we'll be taking physical delegations now to different parts of Uzbekistan, what we did in 2018. And then sky remains the limit for us to just aspire for much bigger challenges, overcome them, and find new business opportunities for us to deepen our long-standing trade economic relations. So with these words, I once again welcome you all. And we have Ms. Harjinder Kaur, who is the co-chair of the India-Uzbekistan Forum for Business and Entrepreneurship and past president FICCI Ladies Organization, to give her inaugural address. Just a brief about Ms. Kaur. She founded the company Comvision India Private Limited way back in 1995. Today, the company is a CMM Level 3 certified medium-sized business organization, employing over 150 plus employees and 4 offices across India. She really stands tall as the only businesswoman into the specific arena of intelligent traffic and transport solutions. She has also played a pivotal role in strengthening investment relations with Uzbekistan and continues to lead the India-Uzbek Forum for Business Entrepreneurship. With these words, over to you, ma'am. Please.
Thank you, Rohit, for those nice words for me. Thank you so much. Mr. Manish Prabhat, Indian Ambassador to Uzbekistan. Excellency Mr. Dilshaw Dakhato, Ambassador of Uzbekistan to India. Mr. Adkam Ikramu, Chairman of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of the Republic of Uzbekistan and my very dear friend. Officials and business representatives from India and Uzbekistan, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, India's apex and largest business association, I would like to welcome you all at today's this important business engagement. I'm indeed delighted to note that the forum has evolved as an annual initiative, the seeds of which were sowed during my visit to invest in Andijan in 2019. I signed an MOU there to set up this business forum. In addition, we at FICCI are also engaged in other Uzbek-specific initiatives to develop new and highly comprehensive framework of business and economic engagements between our industries. The times in the past have been uncertain, but now it is noteworthy that economic activity is in full swing in both India and Uzbekistan. India logged over 20% growth in the first quarter of the current financial year, which makes certain that India is all set to aspire for more. On the other hand, the organization of Innoweek Uzbekistan, which happens to commence today, I think it is already happened, is bound to send the right signals to the global business community. Uzbekistan is yearning to showcase the very best in the country, very best that the country is offering in terms of new business and investors friendly environment. We are aware that India-Uzbekistan relations have been cultivated through high level of bilateral cooperation. We remain a natural partner to Uzbekistan, and today's session would focus on India-Uzbekistan business, technical and investment ties. In fact, given the renewed focus at the highest level of decision making in both our countries and our sincere intent to enhance the cooperation across business sectors, there's this new sense of purpose and direction, I'm sure, that will redefine and unveil the next phase of India-Uzbekistan mutual growth. With Uzbekistan, I have deepening business and investment relations. There remains a major focus at my company's end to continually explore the unexplored, be it technology, new areas of cooperation, and possibilities for promoting employment in Uzbekistan, as we do in the countries where my company implements the solutions. I would take a moment to talk about my company Comvision, which is a leader in e-traffic, e-transport, ANPR cameras implementation, and e-toll solutions, all deeply integrated with artificial intelligence-based vehicle classification and multiple methods of e-payment. And these products are made in India, robust, best of class, yet very cost effective. With such advanced solutions of Indian companies, we must be able to think to build on the economic synergies of both the regions. So I urge here to the businesses in both the countries to collaborate, cooperate, and grow phenomenally. And alongside, the local employment at the place of implementation will also be given a boost. I would like to further urge that Indian industry representatives must explore the trade connections with those big business representatives present here today. FICCI, in partnership with Government of India, had organized India Maritime Summit in March 2021, and a day was dedicated to showcase the relevance of Shabar Port in effectively activating international north-south transport corridor to connect with our key economic partner in Central Asia. The efforts are undertaken to operationalize India's strategic neighborhood policy, especially during the times of global pandemic. Every passing day now emphasizes the need for having this multimodal and transport corridors. I'm sure you will all agree that our economies will stand to gain endlessly if we are able to further address the issue of connectivity between our nations, and this holds the key for envisaging an extended neighborhood. We really appreciate that due to the tireless efforts of Ambassador Prabhat and Ambassador Dilshod, first steps have already been taken to open up an air corridor between India and Uzbekistan. We would further look forward to hear from them on the progress made on this front during their keynote address in a while. Our businesses are aspiring to raise the bar of expectations and cooperation. The sectors like agriculture and agri-implements, defense, food processing, information technology, healthcare and pharmaceuticals, textiles, metals and mines are of mutual interest. These emerging opportunities between the two economies will further pave the way for promotion of political ties, security, counterterrorism, services, as well as cultural linkages, not only amongst the men, but also between the women of both the countries. With these words, I once again thank our Uzbek guests for joining us at today's business engagement. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, Ms. Kaur. Thank you so much. Yes, you have been a brand ambassador for us also and for FICCI for undertaking a lot of initiatives vis-a-vis Uzbekistan in the past. And we do look forward to your support and guidance in terms of what exactly needs to be done. I think the immediate next step would be a physical delegation traveling to Uzbekistan, different regions, including women entrepreneurs. And coming to women entrepreneurs, we are indeed fortunate to have Ms. Ajna Agarwal, who has a fantastic brand called as Ajna Agarwal Jewelry. And Mr. Ayub Khan, he is the CMD for Supreme Industries. So he has been undertaking a lot of those initiatives, understand literally step by step, understanding how to go deeper into Uzbekistan, do business, invest in Uzbekistan, and just take out those wonderful fruits of mutual cooperation coming, back to India. So we'll come back to them. So with this, thank you so much once again, ma'am. And we are indeed fortunate to have with us, Mr. Ikramov Ilkamovich. He is the Chairman, Chamber of Commerce and Industry of the Republic of Uzbekistan. Mr. Ikramov began his career as a surgeon in the Republican Specialized Center for Surgery named after Academician V. Vakidov, and subsequently was the head of the Radiological Diagnostics Department. In 2011, he held the position of Minister of Health of the Republic of Uzbekistan. From 2012 to 2017, he served as the Deputy Prime Minister of the Republic of the country. By presidential decree in 2018, he was awarded the Order of Mehnat Shuhrati for outstanding work achievements, contribution to the rise of the economy and culture, the growth of the welfare of the people, the preservation of peace and stability of Uzbekistan. He has been truly a guiding light for us for deepening our trade and investment relations between our two countries. and we work very closely with his office for understanding and undertaking a number of initiatives in the past, including during the pandemic time. And we are indeed fortunate that he's here with us today. Over to you, Mr. Ikramov. Thank you.
Morning. Assalamu alaikum, Your Excellencies, participant of the second business forum, India-Uzbekistan. And thank you for moderator, my friend Rahid Sharma, to remind me my background. But now it is 5th year I am the chairman of Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and I can refer to the first years when we, through the political will of our president, His Excellency Mr. Mirziyoyev, we started to renovate our cooperation with great country India, and I am thankful for Ambassador Manish Prabhat, with support of whom we can create a very good atmosphere, not only on economical issues, but in cultural, humanitarian, and political defense and other areas. And I congratulate the Ambassador Dilshod Akhatov that since very difficult years of pandemic, he very active and keen to continue the previously job which was done by Ambassador Farhat Arziyev, who is now the first Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs. I all times remember the activities of Madame Harjinder Kaur Talwar here in my office. You firstly started to be so active with Uzbekistan, and I remember all our meetings, and really today I am not be some present the welcome and speech. If you allow me, I want to decide and based on the present station of our cooperation, and we should wake up from pandemic and looking for 2022. And I want to explain what was done since 5 years. We are very proud that the next 5 years we will be continue our strategical work under the presidential of His Excellency Mr. Mirziyoyev, and 2 days ago in the high-level visit to Russian Federation to meet with President His Excellency Vladimir Putin. I want to citate the words of Mr. Putin. He told that the people of Uzbekistan fully agree and support for all the issues and directions which was done since 5 years with our president. Therefore, on the elections, the people practically fully vote to the new presidential time to our president, His Excellency Mr. Mirziyoyev. We increase the amount of entrepreneurs and business 2 times. And if 5 years ago, on all the field of economical sphere, only 230,000 entrepreneurs working, now it's more than 500,000, 500,000, and all of them very active. And if we looking for Chamber of Commerce, I don't want to explain you our capacity, which is really very increased, and thank Manish Prabhat all times you very kind to cooperate with our Chamber of Commerce, and you are looking from your ministerial job in India to support us. And today full office of the Entrepreneurs and Development Institute from Gujarat working, and Dr. Sanjay Chaturvedi, he is present the lectures in our university, which we are open under our Chamber of Commerce and Industry with 4 faculties: e-commerce, international trade, architecture design, and interiors architecture. Also, I am very proud that Amity, Sharjah University, and our university fully work in Uzbekistan. But as an economical side, I want to recommend to my co-partner and co-chairman of our business forum, Madam Harjinder Kaur Talwar, to propose several issues where we can cooperate in 2022. First of all, textile industry. Textile industry. For example, in Gujarat, in a textile company, I seen from very big textile companies which very good work with European, with United States to export one company. It's Goenka, I think, company. They export $1 billion to Walmart and other very big companies in United States. At that time, they afraid about the child and forced labor in Uzbekistan. Now, with my proudness, I can explain, and Dilshot Akhadov, please, you should promote it, that since March of 2021, we are included as a 9th country to GSP Plus to European preferential trade. And 6,200 goods now preferentially can find the market in Europe. United States avoid us from all blacklists for the child and forced labor, and hopefully the ambassador, His Excellency Manish Prabhat, my friend, he can explain and promote it. And now, without doubt and afraid, the Indian companies can come to our country to create the absolutely new textiles, because now we are looking 80% of our export to Russian Federation. Unfortunately, the margin of finished product of textile in the Russian market and European and United States market absolutely different, and therefore it will be very mutual cooperation and fruitful business for textile industry. Also, I am looking for agriculture sector. I am impressed that through the innovative technology, not like in Netherlands, not like when in other big companies where it is needed a very big amount of investment to create the new technologies like glass greenhouses and others. In India, they does the same job and same profit with less money, and therefore we should study of these agricultural products from potatoes, from tomatoes and others, and it will be very good. And maybe we can include for next 2022 some workshops which we can organize it through this business forum. 329 of entrepreneurs with India capital which is working here is 2 times more than 5 years before. That very true show us the interest of Indian businessmen to our market. Next, it is very important. Now we are looking for alternative green energy, and the first projects from Total Iran in France company, in Masdar, in Aqua Power, and we are looking for solar station for Nawai. And I'm impressed in Gujarat where one company, they produce 20,000 of solar panel per day. Therefore, maybe we can work under these issues for alternative energy as well. Next, it is very familiar to Madame Talwar, and it is the smart cities. Now, the Ministry of Information Technology, which is now lead under the second time he is coming as a minister, very clever person, the Sherzod Shermatov, and by IT, internet, smart cities, we can create something with this ministry as well. And in our Chamber of Commerce, we win 3 tenders, I think, so through our very good IT staffs under our unitary enterprises, which is 100% under our Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Marokanda, which work very closely with the government. Therefore, 20 of our staffs can support for this that issues as well. And I am refer to our cooperation with FICCI, CII, ASSOCHAM, and others. And last but not least, the handicrafting. Also, we saw that how it's promote the introduction of the people about the Uzbekistan and India. And as a president of World Craft Council Asia Pacific region for the 2024, I impressed about the development of handicrafters in India, and we can support and combine the small workshops which is invited the handicrafters from both sides. Now, Madam Talvar explained about the roads, logistics, air, aviation. It is very interesting, but I am looking to Afghanistan, and I each week contact with Chamber of Commerce and Entrepreneurs from Afghanistan and India. Many years support as an importer of Afghanistan goods and support to entrepreneurs in Afghanistan. Now, this way, it's practically decrease, but the India businessmen should looking for Termes cargo, which is used also with United Nations, and it will be very good platform to enrich with Afghanistan and Uzbekistan goods and export it to India. And I'm sure that this my proposal will be in focus of our India partners and businessmen, and also it will be very pleasant if both our respected ambassadors support us to create this new platform. I am not thinking about the constructors and building, about the building materials, leather industry, and others. But maybe for the next year, we signed with my co-chairman, Madam Harjinder Kaur Talvar, the new roadmap, and it not needed to sign it some official. It's possible for diplomatic channels. We send our proposal and confirm it, and I am sure that FICCI and Ministry of Foreign Affairs of India, also our mutual coordination committee under the first deputy minister, Mr. Farhod Arzi, they support us. Thank you very much. I am thankful for all regional our Chamber of Commerces, especially in Andijan, where my co-chairman, Madame Talvar, explained about pharmacy and others. We are full of energy. We are now increase the capacity, and we are thankful for all our India partners that they are also hopefully miss us to see indirectly, and I'm looking forward to see all of yours offline physically. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ikramov. Again, you have been very precise in terms of what are the new opportunities which are emerging in Uzbekistan. And rest assured, we are not only enriching our relationship, but we are also enriching our outlook in terms of the new sectors and new opportunities. So the green energy, there is a major focus on hydrogen also. And likewise, the new technologies, the concomitant technologies attached to hydrogen technology is something that Indian companies are majorly working on. And there is a major thrust from Indian side also for deepening such connects with our key economic partners. And likewise, Uzbekistan, if you're talking about green energy and green technologies, this area could also be added onto the action plan that we're just looking at. And we literally will be coming back to your office regarding that. Second point is, Mr. Ikramov, is like the third meeting of India Central Asia Business Council. We, Uzbekistan happened to host it, and we are looking forward that next time around, any new date which emerges, we understand that there is a possibility of the third meeting being organized in Delhi or virtually. But likewise, immediately after that, we can also look at having that third or fourth meeting of the council in Tashkent. So to be hosted and chaired under your great leadership. So that is one big takeaway for us for immediate few months' time, and we'll be working very closely with your office. So thank you so much once again for your time, sir. And we are extremely fortunate to have Mr. Manish Prabhat, Ambassador of India to Uzbekistan, for joining us today. Mr. Prabhat assumed charge as the Ambassador of India to the country in September 2020. Prior to this, he headed the Eurasia Division in Ministry of External Affairs as the Joint Secretary. Ambassador Prabhat is a career diplomat and has a seasoned and a career and a beloved diplomat who has assumed a lot of those responsibilities in different key capitals all over the globe, including Moscow, Yerevan, Washington, D.C., Milan, and Paris. He joined the IFS way back in 1996 and holds a master's degree in history from the University of Delhi. It's truly an honor to welcome Mr. Prabhat, Indian Ambassador to Uzbekistan, to deliver his keynote address and share his perspective on the crucial relations and what future holds for India and Uzbekistan to just collectively work on. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, my very dear friend, Mr. Rohit Sharma, for this very warm and very, exaggerated introduction. I'm just happy to serve in my capacity, the cause of friendship and relationship between India and Uzbekistan. I must thank FICCI for arranging this platform today, for bringing all of us together. FICCI is doing a great work in focusing on Uzbekistan from the Indian perspective, and it deserves all praises. I thank Ms. Harjinder Kaur to have given time to join us today, and because she is so much aware about what is happening in Uzbekistan, also because of her prior visits to Uzbekistan, I think that we are in safe hands, and Ms. Harjinder Kaur would take it to right direction, with the help of FICCI. I thank Mr. Ikramov for just having given us his, very frank perspectives on what to do further in India-Uzbekistan trade and investment relationship. Mr. Ikramov has been supporting a lot all the activities between India and Uzbekistan in this particular trade and investment cooperation. The India-Uzbekistan Entrepreneurship Development Center is working under his direct supervision as the center operates in the Uzbekistan Chamber of Commerce. And recently we had the honor of India's External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar himself visiting the Uzbekistan Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and Mr. Ikramov hosted that event for us. It was a lovely event, and it of course provided a lot of impulse to India-Uzbekistan friendship in general. I also, convey my greetings to my dear colleague, Ambassador Dilshad Khatov, who is doing a yeoman's work in Delhi and all the time working on furthering our, interest of India and Uzbekistan friendship. Thank you once again for, holding this forum. Let me just begin by saying that India-Uzbekistan relationship has come a long way in last 5 years, and it is solely, first of all, due to the extremely, focused attention by the leaders of India and Uzbekistan on this relationship. Our Prime Minister and President of Uzbekistan are constantly in touch with each other, and they have given instructions to all quarters in the government, and of course the private sector has also taken the lead, that we must develop more India-Uzbekistan friendship, which is a traditional friendship, but we have to seek more opportunities in trade, investment, and other kinds of activities. We all know that President, His Excellency Mr. Shavkat Mirziyoyev, was an honored guest during the last Vibrant Gujarat Summit, which happened in January 2019. And may I remind you all that Vibrant Gujarat Summit is coming again in January of 2022. And I would urge here, all my colleagues from Uzbekistan and high officials, that we must make sure that a very high level and very strong Uzbek business delegation should come to Gujarat again, and we should take this relationship further. Of course, India and Uzbekistan have themselves set a bilateral trade target of $1 billion, and active work is going on in this direction. As you know that in India also, Government of India has internally set a target for itself for achieving $400 billion of export every year. And I think that, it would also be important to, for the Indian exporters to look at Uzbekistan from that perspective. And let's try to increase more of our exports to Uzbekistan. Why not? Uzbekistan needs a lot of things and is importing from various countries. And I'm sure that there is a lot of opportunities for India also. You would be happy to know that Department of Commerce of Government of India and Ministry of Investment and Foreign Trade of Government of Uzbekistan, they have together almost finished the joint feasibility study to look into the prospects of increased bilateral trade between the two countries. And this joint feasibility study, which should be released soon once it is signed and finalized by both sides, it may become the basis for having the preferential trade agreement between India and Uzbekistan. It would pave the way for negotiations. As you know that, officials from both sides take steps in that direction only when there is a right kind of opportunities available. And it seems that those opportunities are available, and that is why we are talking about it. In terms of investment also, officials from both sides are engaged in bilateral investment treaty negotiations. The negotiations would be difficult. Of course, it is, after all, it relates to the protection of interest of investors from both sides. But, 5 or 6 rounds of negotiations have taken place, and the work is going on in that direction, and that, we would reach there. Now, what good news at the moment is basically that, that despite pandemic, Uzbekistan's economy in the year 2020 grew by more than 5%. So you can understand that, how dynamic, the country's economy is, has become and has evolved. And this year, the coming financial year, IMF and World Bank have all projected Uzbekistan's growth rate to be more than 6%, or about 6%. So you can see that, these opportunities are there, and we should, of course, there is opportunities for all kinds of players out on this thing. I would also say incidence of coronavirus numbers, has gone down in Uzbekistan. It's really gone down. A very fewer number of cases are being, reported. Lot of, restrictions are relaxed now. So it's time that business delegations should start coming to Uzbekistan. Looking only from the Indian perspective, in last 3 months, I have attended more than 3 or 4 trade fairs in Tashkent physically, where exporters and other players have come and put up their kiosks, and you get a lot of crowd there. And we had Indian exporters also coming to these events, albeit in less numbers, but of course we can increase that. And as Mr. Rohit Sharma was saying, that time has come for physical delegations to visit, with focus on sectors. And I think that we would get cooperation from Uzbekistan Chamber of Commerce to organize right kinds of meetings for our interested exporters. Of course, what are the sectors which are currently booming in Uzbekistan? Construction. Of course, a lot of construction is happening, building construction, infrastructure development, water resources, power sector. There's a lot of thing happening in the renewable energy, as Mr. Ikramov was saying, and also, renovation of the old infrastructure of, thermal or other kinds of power projects. Now, we keep having a lot of, projects in Uzbekistan being supported by, Asian Development Bank or World Bank or AIIB. And these tenders are published in newspapers and websites quite regularly. And let us try to evolve a mechanism. Of course, I'm also in touch with Vicky and others, that these tender notices, they are of course in Russian and English also. So if Indian parties are interested in those tenders where they think that they have the capability, they should further make some efforts, get the tender documents, translated, into Russian, and also bid for them. Because I think that there are a lot of such tenders come where Indian companies have a lot of capabilities, and we should be present here. We should not miss out on those opportunities. It only requires a kind of constant focus on the Uzbek market, that we should be here. As you know, that it is also the concern of Government of India to promote Indian companies to come to Uzbek market. We have a $1 billion dollar line of credit announced by Government of India, for development projects in Uzbekistan. A few of it is also the intention of government of India to extend buyer's credit in the same amount. So if Indian exporters are able to convince their Uzbek counterparts that let us try to import Indian goods into Uzbekistan, I think that there is a way we can talk to the Uzbek government and see that the buyer's credit can be extended by government of India for these kinds of exports. It would be very helpful for Indian exports, and I think we should look into that. As I had Mr. Ikramov has also brought our attention to this fact that agriculture is a major sector in which both countries can cooperate. Agriculture is a major Uzbekistan export sector, and Uzbek agricultural goods are really of very good quality. They are promoted, exported to Europe and other countries. As you know, that between India and Uzbekistan, export permissions have been given to a lot of Indian fruits and vegetables and Uzbek fruits and vegetables. Now the time has come that exporters and importers from both sides should come together and look into the possibility that how these exports can really take place, tying up logistics and how exactly we can go forward. As from the Indian perspective, Uzbekistan has given permission to Indian mangoes, bananas, basmati rice, soybean, wheat, and these kinds of things. We should start looking at that. How we can get that into Uzbekistan. Of course, pharmaceutical is a major strength of Indian exports, and there's a lot of Indian pharmaceutical exports is happening to Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan is now more and more interested in having Indian companies, put their production capabilities and manufacturing capabilities in Uzbekistan, and we can think of future, as you know, that Uzbekistan has now become an observer country in the Eurasian Economic Union. Now, Eurasian Economic Union is a common single market of Russia, Kazakhstan, Armenia, Belarus, and Kyrgyzstan. And in future, if we have the possibility of Uzbek market also becoming a base for targeting these markets, definitely we should look at it. As Mr. Ikramov was saying, that definitely Uzbekistan has got GSP plus preferences in Europe, US, Canada, Japan, etc. And there is the textile sector in Uzbekistan is booming again. I mean, after the partial end of pandemic, the exports have really picked up. There are a lot of orders, and I think that this is also the policy of government of Uzbekistan, as president of Uzbekistan himself has said, that let Uzbekistan do more and more processing in Uzbekistan and less of export of cotton as a raw material. I think that there's a lot of product specialization which Indian companies can bring here, manufacture here, and target the markets of Europe, because logistics is available. You reach European market in 2 weeks basically, and so you can think of doing this. As Mr. Ikramov said, that yes, forced labor has disappeared, and there is the government of United States also certified that there is no forced labor in cotton picking in Uzbekistan. This is all things of past. So let us overcome these inhibitions and come back to track. In fact, that was one major sector when the state of Gujarat and state of Andijan had their memorandum of understanding. A few good business agreements were signed, and it is time to really take them forward. In fact, you would be happy to know that we have not stopped there. Now we are working on a cooperation agreement between government of Haryana and Fargana here in Uzbekistan. And I think that would be another good example of state to state and region to region cooperation. Services sector, of course, offers a lot of possibilities for Indian companies and Indian entrepreneurs. Of course, we should look at the port of Chabahar, for targeting our export markets in Uzbekistan and Central Asia. And so here, logistics services become very important. There used to be a memorandum of understanding or an agreement between Container Corporation of India and the Russian Railways for operating containers in Iran and Central Asia. And I think time has come that these kinds of services are really looked at, because there is really a container crisis in China, and all the importers are facing problem in getting their goods to China. So this is the time that we should activate Chabahar even more. And FICCI had taken the lead of an air corridor to be established between India and Central Asia. Of course, we don't have a regular air corridor yet, but Uzbek Airways and sometimes some other airways are also operating and providing cargo services. But this should become on more regular basis, because otherwise perishable items would not be able to exported in a short time frame. Of course, there is also this possibility of education sector. Indian private universities are already running their classes in Uzbekistan. There is a lot of opportunities there, and more Indian universities should look at the Uzbek market, which is full of youth hungry for education and new kind of education. Information technology, fintech are other sectors where we have a lot of possibilities and we have a lot of expertise, and we should offer that expertise to Uzbekistan. In fact, it is the policy of government of Uzbekistan that let the data of Uzbek citizens active on social media platform remain in Uzbekistan. For that, we need data centers, and I think that Indian IT companies should come and look at the possibilities that how we can create more data centers in Uzbekistan. The IT park of Tashkent was built with the technical support of an Indian resident director. So you can understand that the ready reception for India, which is available in Uzbekistan in this sector, we should target and look at these sectors, very seriously. Lastly, of course, I would like to say that since the more travel is opening up, it is time that the tourism sectors also do their tie-ups between two countries to look at the upcoming tourist season. And in that capacity, I would also say that there are some visa restrictions being faced sometimes for Indian businessmen coming to Uzbekistan. I would urge here, I'm in touch with Ministry of Foreign Affairs here and Uzbek Chamber of Commerce that let these visa restrictions also go now, because the corona incidence in India has also gone down. And I think that once this normal trade and travel resumes, there's a lot of opportunity which is waiting in front of us. I think that FICCI would be able to take advantage of those opportunities, because FICCI is very well placed to look at the Uzbek market. So I'll stop here. I look forward to further discussions. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Prabhat. Very detailed discussion. There are a lot of those takeaways for us. As a matter of practice, we assess all the points which have been shared with us by the available speakers. Like BTI is going to be a big thing. We have been doing a lot of surveys on EAU also, and Uzbekistan can be the gateway for Indian companies for the rest of the entire region. The only thing what you just mentioned about is the connectivity, the logistics, which has been a rankler, and I think Mr. Ayub Khan is there. He's just gone through the entire exercise. So that could be one of the issues. But yes, air corridor is again a game changer for us and could prove to be a game changer for us. We will focus on it, as has been mentioned by you. Pharmaceuticals, yes. Higher education, there has been a major focus on the part of FICCI. We organize Higher Education Summit. The 15th edition was organized in physical format in Delhi, 16th virtually this year only. In 2019, there was almost, Kazakhstan was a major partner, because there are almost 4,000 plus students which are studying there. And Uzbekistan could be a major player in terms of having Indian universities opening up their reference centers there, or a major campus out there in Uzbekistan. Healthcare services, yes, we understand there's a major chain from India who has been pushing for it, and we'll be very happy to just promote that kind of trends happening. So that's an ongoing exercise, and we have taken note of all the points that you have mentioned. We'll come back to your officer, and at the same time, reach out to Mr. Kamal's office, Mr. Dishaw's office, that this is what we are expecting. What are the the further expert inputs on how to operationalize those intents that we have right now. But it's going to be a big thing. Yes, physical visit will happen, and we are quite optimistic. And rather, Ms. Harjinder Kaur has been very specific that we have waited far too long. We must go there physically, because till such time that you do not sit down and have a cup of tea or a chai or a coffee together, nothing much will come out of it. So in the coming months, we will ensure that that part has been taken care of. So thank you so much, sir. And we just would especially like to thank our industry partners. And we have Ms. Archana Agarwal. She's an entrepreneur, philanthropist, and jewelry designer at our program today. Over to you, Ms. Agarwal, and then I'll take over for the presentation there. You are muted.
Hello everyone. It's a pleasure to be a part of FICCI, Uzbekistan Business Forum. I wish you all of you and the FICCI team all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Just an elaboration what Ms. Agarwal has been doing. She has been this Archana Agarwal jewelry has perfected the art of creating spectacular designs characterized by exquisite intricacy, ensuring fabulous craftsmanship with every piece of jewelry she creates. So she graduated in gemology and further launched her own label, Archana Agarwal Timeless Jewelry. Her unique designs and quality in jewelry have always been her strength and forte. For 2 decades, Archana has been crafting luxury jewelry treasures by blending refinement with sophistication. Since her early years, she has been aesthetically keen to transform jewelry into an art form, reliving the age of Mughals and Nawabs through her design skills and taste for everything creative. Archana Agarwal label takes pride in being fashionable, ethical, socially responsible luxury brand. In 2020, Ms. Agarwal became the jewelry partner for FDCI's highly acclaimed first ever digital edition of India Kutu Week and collaborated with ace designers including JJ Valaya and Shane Falguni Peacock. She has been presented with prestigious FICCI and IWEC awards in 2021. Having a strong customer base in USA, UK, Oman, and UAE, Ms. Agarwal's vision to widen the horizon and to see the jewelry label have a strong international presence, including in Uzbekistan, could be one of the key takeaways for her participation today. So thank you so much, Ms. Agarwal. And now we would like to request and invite Mr. Ayub Khan. He is the Chairman and Managing Director, Supreme Industries, to share his insights on doing business in Uzbekistan, Indian industry perspective with us. Supreme Industries has just, Mr. Khan will talk about his experience of doing business and what all opportunities which are being thrown open for Indian entrepreneurs to just, capitalize on. So I would just stop here and would request Mr. Khan to just take charge. Over to you, Mr. Khan.
Hello, Salam Alaikum. How are you? Yakshi, Mrs. Hi, really good. I am Mohammad Ayub Khan, the CEO of Supreme Groups. We are a entrepreneur company doing chemical, fertilizer and petrochemicals trades from the Middle East. And currently we have started our big trade businesses with Uzbekistan. For your kind information, we have been signed some contracts with 3 big companies of Uzbekistan, the government of India, government of Uzbekistan, Uzgom-Sanat, the Lukoil and Mubarak Gas. So we are what the volume, India is need of all fertilizers and mining products like ammonium nitrate. It's a very basic need of what we are moving right now. We are planning a business of near about 200,000 tons of fertilizer chemicals from Uzbekistan to India. And I like to thank, first of all, Mr. Suresh Prabhu, sir, 2018, and all the efforts of the FICCI and the President of Uzbekistan and Government of India for having lots of meetings. But our basic major hurdle right now, it's the logistic. We are very close to each other, but we are very far also because of the logistics. In the last 3 months, we have executed near about $2.8 million job with Uzbekistan, with Uzgom-Sanat. And just to be in short, I will just highlight you the hurdles of doing trade with Uzbekistan. See, doing trade with Uzbekistan, the first major hurdle is it's a landlocked country and you have to cross 2 borders. As soon as we started the business, our trucks got stranded in Turkmenistan border for 38 days. And then also getting permission in Iran was also a big hurdle for us. So anyway, we have started it, but the basic problem is that it's a Turkmenistan. We have understand that the governments have signed some treaties in the Caspian Sea Forum and we have some railways and all some things going around. But not moving in that. What we are doing right now, we have get associated with all the major. I was there in Uzbekistan for the last 3 months. We get associated with all the rail networks, with all the trucks movements. Every day we are loading here about 20 to 25 trucks. We are loading one wagon from over there. The first, there is one more big problem right now working with Uzbekistan is the banking issue. To whomsoever company we sign a contract, it is all ex-factory. We have to do 100% advance payment to them, and all the burdens of logistics that is in our head. We want that banking sector to be increased. We want that LC facilities should be accepted by all the government associates and all the refineries at Uzbekistan. We want some flexible payment terms. We want a passport like that our logistic problems should be solved. Like there should be one window that we get all the clearance from the material. It starts from Tashkent to the port of India. The licenses and all from the Turkmenistan government and the permissions from the Iran government should be handled by the government itself. And easy border crossing should be available because we have a very, very difficult task crossing the Farab border, the Sarax border, the Lutfawad border, all that things. And one more thing is that, see, we also wanted to start and invest a lot of money in Uzbekistan. We want to have manufacturing units at Uzbekistan for all these products. We got our all fertilizer products should be finished in Uzbekistan, where the Uzbekistan, the cost of the power and the gas is 1/10 of the cost in India. And we want some good, we want joint venture with Uzbekistan companies. We are looking forward for joint ventures with the Uzbekistan government companies or private companies, where we get good flexible payments, and we got something like a free zone where once we are developing it, the taxes system should be very much understood by us, and the taxes system should not be there. So the major hurdle for us is the logistic and the banking, and the LC should how to work on LC terms and how we handle these borders. We require a corporation, and we require since we are moving the materials in thousands of tons, we are moving urea, potash, sulfur, ammonium nitrate. So our quantity, everything is in thousands of tons. We want easy movements. Right now, Chabar port is non-operational for the railway. Shortly, it will be operational. We are looking forward for that. And from Bandar Abbas also, we want a railway corridor easily to be managed by the government. Uzbekistan is a hidden treasury. We just want to explore it, and explore it. Like it's not like it's a billions of dollars of work between Uzbekistan and India, and we wanted all your help from all your delegates for easy trade, and looking forward for it. Thanking you for your support, and special thanks to Rohit Sharma sir for giving us guidance all the time. And one more time, I especially thanks the government of India and government of Uzbekistan, and especially our Suresh Prabhu sir, who has given us guidance in 2018, like putting all the efforts to development of our Uzbekistan and Indian trade. Thank you so much. Thanking you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Khan. Actually, these have been the specific issues. We understand in 2011, there was a new system which was created by Uzbekistan, which was known as CIP. So they included the point of delivering the products from India or any other part of the the globe. So that has been a regular for a lot of Indian companies also, especially what Mr. Khan has just talked about, logistics, the banking system, the LC, and the 100% advance. These are some of the issues that have been Indian companies have been facing. We keep on getting those representations. We have been sharing it with Ambassador Prabhat's office also. These are literally the nuts and bolts for creating the future of our trade, economic, and investment relations. once we are just, even if we are able to simplify them a little bit, I think there's going to be a quantum increase and jump in terms of what exactly we're expecting from our trade and economic relations to, those reach out those specific figures of 5 billion or 10 billion. They are easily, doable, because given the fact that what Uzbekistan is offering to Indian companies. So shall we come back to the honorable speakers, or shall we move on? There's any intervention from Ambassador Prabhat? Mr. Ikramov, you would like to just mention something, or we move ahead?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for this very interesting, not presentation, but we share the problems and the proposals how to solve these problems through our solutions. And I want to share with you, Mr. Ayub Khan, that now the interest to chemical industry of Uzbekistan is very great. And in 3 months ago, when our president visited Navoi region, the government announced the 6 chemistry clusters for next 5 years, which will approximately $2.5 billion totally, and it is very interesting projects which will be held in Uzbekistan. But now we're thinking about the export of chemical productions, and thank to government of India. I had the honor to met the Minister of Chemistry and Fertilizers of India, Mr. Mandavia, in October 2018, and after in 2020 February, through support of the FICCI, we met the office of Mr. Mandavia in New Delhi. And now the interest of all countries, which is, for example, I'm just looking to my iPhone, and a week ago, the Azerbaijan business and entrepreneurs, they asking about ammonium nitrate, 10,000 ton, amorphos, nitramorphos, carbamide, selitra, and others, as well as Turkmenistan, Russian Federation. And 2 things. First of all, please send official letter to me as a member of Joint Coordination Committee between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Uzbekistan and India. From our side, it was Farhat Arziv, but in India side, it was my great friend, Mr. Muralidharan. Now, Mr. Prabhat, Manish Prabhat, he is continue his duties, his Joint Coordination Committee or not, I don't know.
Yes, Ministry of External Affairs would decide, because Mr. Muralidharan has now other charge. So who would take his place? That would be decided. But Ministry of External Affairs continues to be very active in this matter.
But it is very important that we need very good information about the problems and proposals how to solve this problem. Also, very interesting, if you are interested into this market, you should send some your staff to create here the permanently office, and for me it will be easy to organize in the meeting with, for example, the Amorphos company and the Director General, Mr. Akober Tursunov. He is very clever man, and chemistry Himprom, Jurabek Mirza Mahmudov, and in Navai Azot, and etc. And but maybe if you send this person for 1 year, you absolutely, I mean, sure you, we looking for the profit for your business and export import. About transport and logistics, and Madame Talwar absolutely right. We double lock country. We are looking for soft corridor through Afghanistan, and we continue our cooperation with Afghan acting government, and through Turkmenistan. We are in 28th of November, our president visit for ECO meetings in Turkmenistan, and they are very open now to transportation logistic through the Avaza, through Caspian Sea, and after in Turkmenistan to Iran ports and others. Also, we are looking for the east part from Kyrgyzstan, and now I think it's possible to use this railway, and we find the solutions because the price of chemicals so good in Uzbekistan, then if you plus the very difficult transportation and logistics at that time, also it will be very comparable prices in India. I try to support you. Thank you for very good explain all your problems and also many entrepreneurs only thinking about problems, but you give us the solutions. The way it joint coordination committee, hopefully two ambassadors support us and permanently staff which you find here, it should be maybe the India guy or Uzbek guy, but the office which is give us opportunity to open the door of our organization, entrepreneurs and government. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ikramov. Sir, please.
Yeah, Mr. Ikramov, of course, took into note all the suggestions given by Mr. Ayub Khan. And of course, I would like to add that, yes, Mr. Ayub Khan is right. Time has come now that we should also think of banking cooperation between India and Uzbekistan. That sector is still missing, and we would work on that. Thank you for paying attention to this question. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sirs. I think the very fact that we are over 100 participants are logged in and they're hearing out what exactly, our speakers are just specifically talking about, the opportunities, the challenges. Yes, challenges will always remain, but the very fact that there is an increasing interest happening between India and Uzbekistan, the new sectors which are being assessed by Indian companies and Uzbeki companies, that is the silver lining for us to just work on. Yes, all those obstacles will keep on coming, and there is always a list which we try to sort it out with due collaboration and guidance from all our available speakers and our key agencies in Uzbekistan as well. So Mr. Khan will coordinate with you for this. So thank you so much for your interventions. May we now invite His Excellency Mr. Dilshod Akatov, the Ambassador of Republic of Uzbekistan to Republic of India. Ambassador Akatov has served in various capacities at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Uzbekistan in 2010 to 13. He served as ambassador of Uzbekistan to Germany, also responsible for Switzerland, Czech Republic, Sweden, and Spain. He held the position of Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of the country in 2018 to 2020, prior to his current position as ambassador of Uzbekistan to India. Over to you, Ambassador Akatov. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Rohit. Good afternoon again, Dear Excellency Mr. Adham Ilhamович Ikramov, dear Mrs. Harjinder Kaur, Excellency dear Ambassador Manish Prabhat, my colleague, dear distinguished speakers, honorable guests. First of all, to Mr. Ayub Khan. I didn't hear about your problems, unfortunately. Please, our embassy is fully open for all entrepreneurs, for all businessmen. Please, my proposal is we can meet, we can discuss, and we are trying to resolve all these problems. Yeah, okay. Thank you. It's a great honor for me to greet all of the participants of this virtual Uzbekistan-India Business Forum. I'm very thankful to the leadership of Chamber of Commerce of the Republic of Uzbekistan and the Federation of Chamber of Commerces of the Republic of India for taking the initiative for organizing this important event, as well as for immense support us in the boosting of the economic ties between our countries. And dear friends, I would like to inform you that over the maybe I should reiterate some but anyway, I would like to inform you that over the last 5 years, Uzbekistan has been doing a lot to gain the further confidence of foreign investors, and this can be demonstrated in its implementations of the large scale of economic and structural reforms. These reforms have made a positive impact on creating a more friendly and convenient environment of foreign companies to do business in Uzbekistan. For example, despite the negative consequences of the global pandemic, the economy of Uzbekistan has shown stability, the available economic growth potential and the timely adopted anti-crisis measures made it possible to avoid a recession and maintain positive dynamics by the end of 2020 last year. And in last year, Uzbekistan's, for example, GDP increased by 1.6% and amounted almost 60 billion US dollars. In 2021, the real growth rate of Uzbek economy is expected to reach 5.1%. Reforms in our country during the last years has made the country a more appealing destination for international capital. According to the UNCTAD 2020 World Investment Report, FDI inflows increased significantly in 2020 to 2.3 billion compared to 2018, for example. And Uzbekistan ranked 69th in the World Bank 2020 Doing Business, same as the previous year. The country is among the economies that improved the most across 3 or more doing business reports. And I would like to outline that in his speech during the inauguration after presidential election on 6 November 2021, His Excellency President Mr. Shavkat Mirziyoyev noted, quotation, "We have developed a strategy for the development of the new Uzbekistan and widely discussed it together with the people during the election campaign to ensure the consistency and continuity of our transformations. Its main idea is from an action strategy to a development strategy," end quotation. And he announced the priority areas for the next 5 years. It's noted that this strategy consists of 7 directions. In particular, in economic and social spheres, the priorities are, for example, in economic, the plans for the development of the economy have been outlined. The goal is that by 2013, Uzbekistan should enter a number of states with an above average per capita income. This will be achieved primarily by stimulating the private sector and increasing its share, as well as attracting foreign direct investment. Priority measures will be taken to ensure macroeconomic stability and reduce inflation to 5%. In social area, the issue of providing quality education and upbringing will be in the center of constant attention. It will be developed a national education program aimed at building a new and strengthening the material and technical base of existing schools, high schools, universities, ensuring continuous communication between all parts of the education system. At the same time, broad conditions will be created for the protection of public health also. And dear friends, I would like to outline that the strengthening of long-term strategic partnership with India is one of the priorities of Uzbekistan's foreign policy. Now, bilateral relations encompass a wider canvas, including a political and military, security issues, trade and investment, including pharmacy, energy, agriculture, IT, as well as healthcare, education, and people-to-people ties. And Uzbekistan-India economic cooperation is driving strong and robust growth despite the complex global pandemic situation. As of 10 months 2021, trade turnover between our countries reached to almost 400 million US dollar, with increase of more than 20%, 21 and 0.5% comparing to the same period 2020. The doubling of the number of enterprises with the participation of Indian capital in Uzbekistan over the at least past 3 years also testifies to the deepening of bilateral economic ties. And in Uzbekistan, over the past 3 years with Indian partners in the priority areas of investment cooperation, more than 10 investment projects worth more than 40 million US dollar have been carried out, and more than 20 projects worth about 800 million are being implemented now. It should be noted that the economic and trade potential of the two countries is not fully used, unfortunately. Both sides need to intensify efforts to develop concrete measures to increase the volume of mutual trade, as my colleague also mentioned about it. And carried marketing research shows that there are great opportunities which we have to take advantage of. For example, again, I should reduplicate somewhat of Excellency Adham Ilham Chikramov and my colleague Minister Manish Prabhat also. First, pharmaceutical industry. For the further development of the sector of this sector of economy over the last 4 years on the territory of 6 regions of Uzbekistan, there were created 7 pharmaceuticals-free economic zones and 1 farm cluster. All conditions of communication, for example, gas, electricity, water brought to the territories of these pharmaceutical free economic zones. But the main advantage of pharmaceuticals zones, this exemption of participants from all taxes related to the conduct of production activities. Today, in the territory of these pharmaceutical free economic zones, some investment projects are implemented with the participation of Indian pharmaceuticals companies by the government support. Uzbekistan is highly interested in attracting Indian investments and advanced technologies to produce modern competitive drugs and creation of modern laboratory and research centers focused on the development of original drugs. For example, in the border to Afghanistan, in Termes, we can create some joint venture or some company, the production company in this area. And just now, I would like to inform you, Uzbek delegation headed by Deputy Chairman of Pharmaceutical Industry Development Agency is in Gujarat. The visit also includes talks with pharmaceuticals companies in Mumbai and in Delhi and in Noida also, as well as in framework within the participation of big pharma fair. Second direction, healthcare. It would be mutual beneficial for both sides to further develop cooperation in healthcare sector. I'm confident that Indian companies will achieve great success in Uzbekistan given the current high demand and the need for medical institutions, as well as the rapidly growing population of the country. Activities of Indian companies in Uzbekistan, the motherland of Avicenna, Abuela Ibn Sina, include not only the provision of medical services to the population of Uzbekistan, but also the population of neighboring countries, where each year thousands of people are going to take medical care abroad. We are ready to support and pay great attention to deepening mutually beneficial relations between Uzbekistan and India in the field of healthcare. And education, spatial also, we know the great satisfaction, the dynamics of the development of educational cooperation. The branches of Amity and Sharda universities are very popular among the Uzbek youth. In May this year, a decree of president was adopted on establishment in Jizak region of Uzbekistan, a branch of one of the leading Indian universities, the Sambram Institute of Technology, where future ICT specialists will be trained, including software developers, specialists in computer engineering and information systems management. We invite leading Indian universities to open branches and faculties in the regions of Uzbekistan in all areas of information technologies, healthcare, pharmaceuticals, textiles, etc. Informational technologies, strengthening cooperation in this field, in the field of digital technologies, cybersecurity areas, clearly fits into Uzbekistan's strategic plans to develop information technologies in our country. Thanks to cooperation, Uzbekistan will have the opportunity to widely use the technological and innovative potential of India, which claims to be one of the world leaders in this area. For example, in July 2019, the Technological Park of Software Products and Information Technologies, IT Park, was created in Tashkent with the assistance of the Society of Software Technology Parks of India, STPI. In 2020, branches of the IT Park were opened in a number of cities and regions of our country. For example, in Andijan, Jizak, Gulistan, etc. Active work in this direction continues. But furthermore, we are planning to create one of the biggest in the region of Central Asia IT cluster in Bukhara. The cluster will include IT center, university, school, and incubation center. We will be happy to carry out these projects with leading Indian companies as well as. And fifth direction, textile industry. Excellency Akram Ilkhan Ikramov also mentioned about it. As you are aware, the textile and clothing and nightwear are strategically important industries for the economy of both countries, Uzbekistan and India. Uzbekistan has proven a competitive advantage in the textile sector because of its relatively cheaper skilled labor as well as cheap rate electricity costs allows manufacturers to reduce total costs of production. At the same time, textile companies in Uzbekistan can buy cotton at 10% discount compared to the price on the world market. Enterprises in the textile industries receive support in the form of canceling customs payments for imported raw materials and equipment which are not produced in our republic. Today, products are exported to over 55 countries around the world. If in 2016 the export of textiles varied in the region of $1.1 billion, then by 2020 it reached $2.1 billion. The main consumers of Uzbek textile products are the CIS countries, China and Turkey. In April this year, the European Union has accepted Uzbekistan as the ninth beneficiary country of the Spatial Incentive Arrangement for Sustainable Development and Good Governance, GSP+. I would like to confirm the words of Excellency Ikramov. The European Union started applying preferential tariffs for products imported from Uzbekistan under this arrangement from 10th of April this year, 2021. And the Uztextile Industry Association has announced that the land, buildings and structures of regional cotton terminals will be provided to foreign investors on the condition of implementation of textile projects. On the basis of regional cotton terminals, there is an opportunity to purchase high-tech textile equipment made in India and increase the production capacity of high value-added export-oriented finished products. So we call on potential Indian companies producing high-tech textile equipment and companies working for world-famous textile brands to use these opportunities and implement joint beneficial investment projects. Next direction, also connected, closely connected to the previously direction, is silk industry. The development of sericulture in Uzbekistan has long history. As you are aware, there is information that the practice of silk warming and silk spinning existed 4,000 years ago in the south of Uzbekistan. In 2021-2025, it's planned to increase the production of raw silk by 2 times and bring the figure to 3,000 tons per year. And also through the deep processing of raw materials to increase the production of silk fabric by 8 times, providing 11.2 million pagan meters per year. To achieve these goals, we are looking for Indian enterprises that can cooperate with us on the following issues: construction of modern mulberries, increase cocoon productivity, and growing cocoons and processing it. We ask FICCI to provide practical assistance in cooperation with the most advanced enterprises in India. Next one, fresh and dried fruits. There are a wide range of products which both sides may offer to each other. One of them is fresh and dried fruits, of course, and the continental climate of Uzbekistan, where there are 30 sunny days in year and fertile soil, it is well suited for growing more than 350 types of fruits, vegetables, nuts, and beans, herbs, and melons. And our country exports 180 types of agriculture products to more than 80 countries around the world. The 5K countries importing Uzbek fruits and vegetables include Russia, China, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Afghanistan. Today, exporters of Uzbekistan are increasing the volume of supplies to South Korea, the Baltic states, Persian Gulf countries, and to other European countries also. Uzbekistan also exports various dried fruits and nuts to India, but the volume is not so big, unfortunately. But carried marketing research shows there are great opportunities in this area which we have to take advantage of. And next one is I should confirm again the handicrafts. We also have to enforce cooperation and partnership between our handicrafts. Handicrafts in India are being made from centuries, and people around the world love these. They are skilled employees whose profession relies on manual skills. And our association, Hunarmand, under the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Uzbekistan, has about 20,000 craftsmen working on 25 directions of applied art and produce more than 1,000 types of products on the basis of the special degree of the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan. Those who are engaged of the individual labor activity are free of fixed tax as well as customs payments for the items sold aboard. Establishing close cooperation, enhancing of close cooperation between our handicrafts for benefit of both countries, I would like to outline. Dear friends, it is extremely important to consolidate our efforts in above mentioned areas, as well as assisting our respective companies to find proper partners, develop and implement mutually beneficial projects, and solve any issues arising in this direction. I'm confident that regular organization of such events is a huge opportunity for the entrepreneurs and of our countries to get acquainted with prospective areas of mutual beneficial cooperation, including the implementation of joint projects in trade and investment. I would like to once again thank Chamber of Commerce of the Republic of Uzbekistan, personally the leader of Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Uzbekistan, Excellency Mr. Adham Ilhamович Ikramov, and of course the leadership of FICCI India for excellent organization of this platform. Thank you for your attention.
Mr. Dilshad, thank you so much. We heard every bit of the vision statement that you just talked about, the sectors. Yes, we have taken note of it. Why just stop at $1 or $2 billion? I think given the rising interest from Indian companies who reach out to Uzbek issues, we can actually aspire for much higher targets in the coming years. And since the entire economy and the infrastructure, the business structure is getting reactivated now, we are going to start off with this the entire process of meeting and greeting each other on a far regular basis, going physical, face to face, talk business, what our economies are holding for each other. I think coming months are going to be very promising, and we are very optimistic about it. That next year we'll be coming back and meeting on the same platform face to face and talking about the achievements of last 1 year that we just discussed today. So thank you so very much. And yes, Mr. Ikram, please.
I want only, Mr. Rahid Sharma, add something, if you allow me. I am really feeling very great happiness and impressive after the speech of Excellencies Ambassador Manish Prabhat and Dilshad Akhatov. And the information, involvement to the sphere of Chamber of Commerce and Industry and FICCI, and the vision in the future really give me the short proposals. These two ambassadors, which show very good cooperation between each other, and the mutual interest of India and Uzbekistan should open the school of ambassadors for other ambassadors of India and Uzbekistan in other countries. Thank you. Thank you, Rahmat Kotta. Especially very using the figures which only I am know. That's how you know. I don't give you some information. Thank you. It's so informative speech. Thank you very much.
Mr. Ikram, we absolutely endorse your suggestion. I think it's going to be a great learning experience for others and emulate them, the kind of hard work which has been put in by Ambassador Manish Prabhat, Ambassador Dilshad Akhatov, and special thanks to you for the unflinching support. We, on behalf of Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we really would like to thank you all for joining us and just sharing your perspective. There are new possibilities which are emerging. We have taken note of it. We'll keep on working out what is the best way, what is the simplest way of actually activating them, moving ahead on those opportunities which are arising both in India as well as in Uzbekistan, how we can get the businesses connected, what new platforms which can be created, and what new support we require from the offices of each other. This is something that is going to be an ongoing exercise. With these words, we once again thank you all for joining us. And Mr. Ayub Khan, any support from our side? I think this is a very good time. Things are opening up. There is absolute very professional ears who are hearing you out what exactly needs to be done, to facilitate and simplify the entire experience of doing business with Uzbekistan. Good that we had you today. Your presentation was very precise, to the point. And these issues at times, they actually motivate and gravitate us to just go for them and go ahead in our planning what to rather overcome those those obstacles that we keep on facing on a day-to-day basis. So with these words, thank you so much, and Ambassador Prabhat, wishing you and your family all the very best. Ambassador Akhatov, all the best to you. Mr. Ikramov, all the best to you. Thank you so much, sir, and all the participants from Uzbekistan and India. Thank you so much for joining us. So it's a pleasure. Yes, Ambassador.
Mr. Rohit, I'm sorry. Taking this opportunity, I would like to propose to Miss Archana also to meet with us in the embassy. I'm always open to have a meeting with Miss Archana. We are working on now with our Indian friends and partners in the jewelry industry also on some projects. That's why it would be very useful and very fruitful joint working with also with timeless jewelry. Thank you.
Absolutely, Your Excellency. We will coordinate with your office to get this meeting going then, for sure. So with these words, thank you, sir. Any other information you would like to have, we wish you all the very best for a wonderful day, and stay safe, and looking forward to meeting you in person then. All the best to you, sir. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye. Thanks.
India, Maharashtra.